85-63, Colorado beats Portland in their home opener here at the Coors Event Center. We thought we liked this team, seeing what they did on the road with that big win over Auburn, battling a top 10 program in Iowa State. And then they come out here and they have a little bit of a lull defensively in the first half, but by and large a successful home opener for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last night, people are going to like the way this team plays basketball, and that's really all you can ask for out of a team. You know, they're not going to win every single night, but if they play a good brand of basketball, it's a team worth coming out to watch. It feels like 180 degrees from last season in terms of the way this team plays, the style they play, the camaraderie. You know, George King talked about that in the post-game press conference. They went to Topgolf in the offseason and did all those things to kind of get right in that sense. And you see it. You can just see it on the court, the way they're sharing the ball, the way they get up off the bench anytime, you know, someone makes a big play, and it's refreshing.
Yeah, and Tad Boyle said one thing that was kind of interesting in the post-game press conference about this. What this team is going to have to learn how to do is to handle success. And, you know, you kind of heard that a little bit going into last season, but then they really struggled through adversity. It's refreshing 3 games into a season. That's a coach's biggest concern, is your team being able to handle the success.
Yeah, he said, you know, they showed they can handle adversity in that Auburn game. And then he cited, you know, a guy celebrating a dunk and letting his man come down here and shoot a 3 on the other end. And that is, you know, that is a great problem to have as a coach, because you can teach a team that pretty easily. Overcoming adversity, that's something from within, I think. But being able to handle success is something that a coach can kind of instill in a player's mindset. So, yeah, if that's your biggest problem, you're feeling pretty good as Tad Boyle.
Josh Fortune flirts with a triple-double, just 4 assists shy of that. We see Trayshawn Fletcher with his best game of the season, very, very efficient on the offensive end. And just in general, that group is kind of, in George King, it's not a fluke now. I think 3 games into the season, you can kind of say that.
Yeah, I mean, and I keep saying that George is due for an off one, and it's probably going to come at some point. But, man, he can score in so many different ways that he's going to put them in every night, because it doesn't have to be the long ball like it wasn't tonight. He can go inside and get it. He can do it off the dribble. And then you throw in Josh Fortune, who has 17 points and 14 rebounds. If you said, you know, if he would have 14 rebounds through 3 games, I might have not said that he reaches that. And then, you know, with the assists too, and sharing the ball and playing within the offense. And then Fletch only misses one when he's trying to get Josh an extra assist there late, and kind of forces one up, which he didn't do all night. And he puts in 17. If those 3 guys are going to go like that, you know, they can beat anybody. I really believe that, and they're not going to go like that every night. But to get 2 out of 3, or know you have 3 guys who are capable of playing that well from the wing, it's got to be a really great feeling for Tad Boyle.
You could tell that Portland wasn't going to let Josh Scott beat them. They were double teaming him. Even though he was quiet, it again kind of shows how this team is different than last year's team. Last year's team, when Josh Scott was taken out of the mix, it was the Askia Booker show, and they went as he went. This year, you have so many different pieces. We talked in the preseason podcast about the question marks that these players have, and by and large, it's been answers from those players that had the big question marks.
Yeah, every single one of them, besides Wes Gordon, really has answered the bell. Dom Collier has played really nice. George King, we talked about, you know, he's been crazy good. Josh Fortune, Trey Fletcher, all these guys have answered the bell and given this fan base and this coaching staff a ton of confidence in what they can be able to do on a nightly basis. At this point, you know, you almost want teams to try and take Josh Scott out, because you have so many other options out there that can hurt them, and they're playing a man down as soon as they try and go and double Josh Scott. So everything to this point has been extremely encouraging from this team. I think I know I undervalued what they could do pretty greatly.
I definitely undervalued Thomas Akiazili. I didn't think he was going to be a guy that was going to look as comfortable on a Division I basketball court as he does. It looks like he's a junior out there playing, and he's definitely a bright spot for the future. You said in the preseason podcast you weren't ready for basketball until it felt like basketball in terms of the weather. It's freezing, and I'm like shaking here in this video. It's so cold on the court. Now that we have snow on the ground, I feel like a fun team to watch. Now I'm both feet in. I'm ready to cover this team.
I'm definitely ready. I mean, as soon as I walked out of my house and looked at the snow and kind of had my bag, I was like, all right, here we go. It's basketball season, and it definitely doesn't hurt to have an exciting team to go watch and cover.
Quick turnaround. Omaha comes in here Sunday, a noon tip. Anything particular you want to see out of that game?
Just keep it going, keep it rolling. I think Tad Boyle said it well in the press conference, and he said we only have 1 day between games. We probably don't have time to get better physically, but we do have time to get better mentally. And I think that's like the only thing you can point out is just don't have that defensive lull. Come out and beat a team. You know, they only out-rebounded them by 2 in the first half. Tad Boyle wants them to out-rebound them by 8 every half. So if you can go do that and just kind of go 40 straight minutes, locking down on defense, rebounding the ball, doing what you got to do, and then keep it rolling on offense with guys like Georgia King and all them, and yeah, you'll definitely be happy with that.
All right, Colorado improved to 2-1, signing off from the Coors Event